Hello friends, I'm Dandy and today I will be doing a little video on the Legendz Talispod. This is definitely my favorite virtual pet of all time. It's kind of like a Digimon in that you raise a monster and battle with it, and not quite as much like a Tamagotchi because there's less kind of raising and bringing it up. Anyway, this outside part is called the Talispod, and we have three buttons here: select, confirm, and cancel. These little squeezy things on the side will let you pop the soul doll out. More on that in a second. On the back, we have the battery compartment, which will hold the CR2032 battery, and the connectors, which will let you battle with other Talispods and Talistems. In the top, we have the prongs, which will read and write data to the soul doll, a light that will light up and shine light onto the soul doll itself during parts of the game, and then these little locking clasp things, which are what these prongs move, and those hold the soul doll in place while you're playing with it. The soul doll itself, there are 103 of these. They all have different little carvings on this tablet in the back, and an engraving on the back says Legendz. And then the chip on the bottom, which is what reads and writes data to. I'll pop him in here. And I'll restart the Talispod so you can see the opening video. It's asking if I want to load. I do not. It wants me to put in a name. We'll just do AAAA. Now once the time, it's almost 4. Alrighty, now we'll get the title screen here in a second. Boom, and we're into the screensaver. This is the symbol for Tornado, the wind element in the series. This first option in the menu will let us reborn our Legendz to train it, play with it. Second one will let us battle with other Talispods. This is the settings menu where we can delete the data on the soul doll itself. If you want to delete the information on the Talispod, you have to reset the button on the back. You can turn the sound on or off, and then we can set the time. This last option is rolling a die for the card game, or really anytime you need a 6-sided die. It's not very exciting. So there, we rolled a 1. Wow. So cool. Alrighty, so let's reborn the Legendz. This will start us off with a scripted battle. Pretty happy little guy. So we will be fighting against a Yeti. Alright, so here we are in the battle screen, and here we can scroll through the 15 moves that we have learned on our Wind Dragon here. There's a lot of basic fireballs, the Kogeki. We have a counter move, got like a big flame, sort of a physical tackle. So yeah, let's try that. We are fighting on a Necrom, the dark type battlefield. He healed himself. And we hit him. Easy peasy. And here we have a second surprise battle. This is Jabberwock, kind of the big bad of the franchise. And we are scripted to lose this battle no matter what. He'll basically wipe us out in one hit, no matter which Legendz you're using. Alright, so after all that text scrolls by, we have a Wounded Legendz to see to. So I'll take care of that first. There we go. It's feeling a little better now. Alright. So now that we're in the Talispod proper, we can change the environment, and this is where your Legendz will train. There are a variety of different environments that you can set this thing to. But the Wind Dragon's favorite is -45, 5. There we go, Snowy Mountain Range. Alright, so we got the daylight setting wrong. We'll change it. This first setting is the temperature. The second setting is the humidity in the environment, and the third is how much light is being shined. And that setting depends on the time of day that your Talispod is set to. Maybe he wants it really dark. Yes, he did! Alright, so that music note means that he's pretty happy there. And then if you wait a while, he will start to recover his hit points. If he is at his max amount of hit points, you will raise his hit point cap, and over time he will also gain stats. On the Legendz status screen, we can check. So there we have the wind symbol, and the username for the Talispod, AAAA like I said. We have how old he is. We can see Wind Dragon, the species, and then Parido, that's private, because all Legendz have military ranks. Here you can see hit points, 110 out of 400 possible right now. Hunger. We have magic attack, counter attack, physical attack, and healing abilities, and these are the stats that will go up depending on the environment that you train in. So because we're training in a wind environment right now, we will be going up in counterattack. Fire environments raise magic, earth environments raise physical, and water environments raise the healing. These question marks are where the Legend's name would go if we gave it a nickname, and this weird alphanumeric number scramble here is a password that you can put into the PlayStation 2 game to unlock that Legendz to play with it in there. The second will let us look at all the different moves we have assigned to the Legendz. You can click on it for some information. And then the third option here will let us give it the nickname, whatever you want it to be. Only katakana though. No hiragana or English letters. The crystal screen. Here we have cost crystals. Sometimes people call them training crystals, because when you use one it will give you, I think, 9 or 10 minutes of uninterrupted training in an environment. Normally when you're training you will be occasionally interrupted by random enemies. So fire crystals, wind crystals, earth crystals, and water crystals. Those you gain by defeating enemies, and they let you learn an attack of that element. These are things like shift element, stuff like that, and then this is the king crystal, which you'll get when you defeat all 4 king dragons and Jabberwock. And then, as I've shown you, this is the healing item if your Legendz ever gets defeated in battle. So let's let him train for a bit. And there we go. He gained 30 hit points. And then if you leave him there for a while, he'll eventually start to gain counterattack stats, and he will face some random enemies. We'll turn off the training. Some things to note: it does not matter what color Talispod you buy. Any Legendz can be raised in any Talispod. These flames at the top of the screen show kind of like your effort meter. So if you have a full one, you can train for longer without having to return your Legendz back to the Soldal. Make him peek around. If you're training in an environment and you press this button, your Legendz will look around and will encounter either a crystal for free or a random enemy. The enemies are often more difficult to defeat than what you'll normally find in an environment. So it can be a blessing and a curse. Let's return him back to the Soldal, go back to the menu, and there we are. Those are the basics of the Legendz Talispod. If you have any questions, please ask them below. I am happy to help anybody with any Legendz things, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. Catch you next time.